Grant Dania now.
It's Grant Dania.
The gold logie this year. Oh my God, it's Grant Dania.
And our mum, Chezzi Dania. She's really crazy. And
George,
affectionately known
as Large Sarge. It's all true.
It's All True, the podcast with Grant and Chezzi Dania.
and
George.
I love that. I really do. You guys are back. Thank God. You've left me for the last 2 weeks. I've had to do this on my own.
I don't think we should come back because I think they were the best episodes ever recorded in the history of the It's All True podcast, George.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw all the comments on the YouTube videos. I saw a lot of reviews come in, but we never get comments or reviews on anything we do. But when you went solo, we finally got that.
You know what that says to me? And I learnt this long ago in television, never look in the comments because it hurts like hell when you read something negative about you. But secondly, the realisation that that you and I, George, are just...
Superfluous.
We're useless utensils. You know what I mean? I set the lighting. If you're watching on YouTube, bit of blue over my shoulder, bit of sort of revolving colours over this shoulder. I set the cameras, but apart from that, there's probably no need for me to be here.
Yeah, I literally just sit here, make sure that the thing was recorded and upload it. I don't edit it. I don't do anything. And I just say that I'm the producer.
Yeah, you're right, actually. That's probably the easiest gig of the lot.
And I feel a little bit naughty too. I think both of us feel a bit naughty because we were away for the past couple of episodes, and it was a little bit, anxiety was definitely on the mind coming into today's episode. I feel like we could get fired.
Yeah, considering how well it's gone.
Oh, it hasn't gone well. You guys are very, very
you're
being polite.
We're very
shit
to say how good and important we are to this show.
You are important. You are so important. And you know what? I am so dedicated to team. I am the I in team.
Yeah, that's the
So
problem.
I'm
You are the team. You are
no,
it.
That didn't come out right. I just, this is how committed I am.
Stop saying I
yeah,
because
I know.
that's a little bit of a touchy subject for you. Would you like to inform the world what indeed has happened
Great
to your
segue.
I?
Quick, sound effect. I was actually thinking it would be more.
Now get off!
Oh.
That's at the end when you reveal the scary part.
Okay.
All right, so tell us, what's happened in the last 24 hours?
So, I had a bit of a sore eye last week. Bit of a sore eye. Said to Grant, I think maybe I've got a sty.
Is a sty just like effectively like a little sort of pimple type thing
on your eyelash line or something?
Yeah. Is that what a sty is?
But I haven't had a sty since I was about 15. In fact, I think I only ever had one. So I wasn't quite sure. I just knew that it was really sore and nobody else could see it. Grant kept saying to me, no, nobody can see it. I was complaining about it a bit. Went away on the weekend, took Sailor to Wicked.
The musical.
Wow, that is awesome.
There's an episode in that.
There is an episode in that. And my eye felt...
Was it fun to be amongst your fellow broom flyers?
Thespians?
Did you find your community?
Oh, now I realise why I missed you guys. Yeah, because there was no humour.
Because that wart on your nose it's the thing I love about you more than anything else when I first met you. So it must have been nice
removed.
To be at Wicked. You know, where you felt normal.
Yeah.
Defying gravity.
Yeah, I was so into it. I even gave a standing ovation. I think I was like one of the only ones. But when it was finished...
It was that good, one person gave a standing ovation.
Well, I couldn't see anybody else because when it finished, I thought all the smoke had irritated my eye and my eye was like a big puffball by the end of this show. And it was all yuck and gunky and anyway, I kept complaining about it. When I woke up the next morning and I had to sleep in the bed with Sailor and in the other bed was Grant's sister and my niece.
We're sharing a hotel room. They'd travelled down. There's a bit of a sort of girly girl experience, the mums and the daughters.
Yeah. And it was really cool. And yeah, I woke up and I was just talking to them normally and their faces were one of horror. Like, ah! Sailor said, what is wrong with your eye? I was like, oh, it's a bit swollen, isn't it? And I looked in the mirror and it was bad.
Did one of the cast members cast a spell on you mid-performance and it was now
don't
starting
know.
to come into effect?
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
are we suing Wicked the musical right now?
Yeah. Did anyone point, one of their wands at you when they're delivering lines and not aware that they actually do have secret powers?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Or it could have been the really weird drink that your sister bought me, which was like a green drink
Oh,
with
like a
pistachio froth on it. And
Sort of wicked-themed drink, was it?
yeah, it was very strong. It's alcoholic, not for kids. Anyway, drove home from Sydney, and by the time I got home, I said to Grant, my eyes are pretty bad. Saw a doctor. Doctor gave me antibiotics. Started the antibiotics. They didn't do enough. And then yesterday, Grant said to me, "You're acting weird." And
It was very strange.
yeah, what was I doing that was weird?
You had a significant resting bitch face.
Well, that's just normal.
No, it was beyond normal levels of resting bitch face. So I could see that you were in some discomfort. Although you were kind of protesting that you were fine, you were sort of also wobbling around a little bit.
Oh, my joints were sore.
Yeah, you didn't
My
quite...
knees and ankles.
Yeah, so I could sort of see that you were struggling with something.
And my jaw was sore. Like when I was opening up my jaw, it was sore. So Grant said, "Do you think maybe you should go up to the hospital?" No, I don't have time to go to the hospital. I don't want to go up there and wait.
Takes a fair bit to knock Mama Bear down. She has a high pain threshold, much higher than mine, and will refuse sort of any help until on deathbed.
Well, have we just lost George?
Still there, buddy?
I think he fell asleep in my story.
Oh, let's see if we can get him.
We've cast a spell at him and he's gone.
He's been wicketed. Not sure what's happened there.
Keep on going. My internet has just cut out.
Oh, okay. We'll wait for him to keep going. We'll wait for him to join us. So carry on.
Do I need to?
Keep going.
Oh, you know this story.
Well, the audience don't.
Oh, true.
You forget there's people listening. This is not just something you're doing for my benefit. We're married for 14 years. We're telling stories from our lives.
So,
and it's not for me. It's for those that have committed their lives and they're giving us an hour at a time to listen to these beautiful stories. So please, for their benefit, continue. Oh my gosh, he's texting George now.
well, because I need to make sure that
He
he
can join
log
back
on.
in.
Can he?
Yeah, he'll be able to join back in. He's just dropped out. He's got the link. It's all good. This is technical information
Okay.
that, again, our listeners don't need to hear.
All right. So, yeah, you said I was talking gibberish, was acting a bit weird.
Yeah, speaking in tongues almost. And I'm like, something's not right here. You've come back from Wicked a little bit wobbly.
So I decided to go up to the hospital and walked in the waiting room. There was heaps of people. There's lots of really sick people. It's not a place you want to hang out. I don't really like, hanging out there. Walked in, saw a couple of people that I knew. They're like, "Oh, what's wrong with your eye?"
It looked pretty manky by this stage. It was pretty puffy.
It had puffed over and it was a bit pussy.
You had about 8 eyelids on one eye.
I did, and it was hard to hold it open.
Yep.
So, yeah, got checked and they took me straight in. And
Which is a sign of how serious it was.
so I had periorbital cellulitis.
So is cellulitis another word for infection?
Infection in the cells, I believe.
Right, okay.
So it must have gone from a small infection along my eyelid that just blew up, and it was a staph infection in my eyelid.
Oh God, that's hardcore,
Isn't
That's
it?
your vision. So that's high risk, right? The
Yeah.
potential to lose your eyeball.
Apparently, yes, is quite significant. So they were quite puzzled as to why I had waited so long. And I explained to them that I was...
Because you're the caregiver. You're the caregiver. You're very generous with how you look after us. You're our home doctor. You're our nurse when we need you, and you're first to jump up into action when any of us need help. But you're the last to put your hand up when you need help. So,
Well, Here's George. He's back. But I'm also
Welcome back,
not...
George.
Georgie. Oh, now we can't hear him.
He's got to turn his mic on.
How much did I miss, guys?
Mate, this story's been going for an hour and a half, and let me tell you, you've missed nothing. You have
It
missed
feels
nothing.
weird telling Grant because Grant knows. No, so, but I'm not reckless.
So infection in the eye, in
Infection
hospital,
in the eye,
serious,
yeah.
could lose vision, right? That's the risk.
Yeah, so
Holy smokes. And you're here recording a podcast with us now?
That's the commitment that we've
well,
got.
yeah, that's the commitment. But look, I was treated overnight, went in, had a couple of scans, had a where they put dye into your bloodstream and then they do a CAT scan. That was weird.
So they can see what's going on with the blood in your body through the veins. Yeah.
That was really weird. So,
That's a weird feeling, that, isn't it? Describe it.
So I went all warm but the lady before she gave it to me, she said, you're going to feel really warm. You might feel a little bit out of it and then you will feel like you've wet yourself. And I was thinking, oh, that sounds terrible. And then they're like, okay, you ready? Let's go.
And they inject you, and it
Terrible taste in my mouth. Felt like I'd been poisoned.
it's like a metallic-y...
Yep. Then felt like this warm feeling.
Is it mercury that they put in you?
Well, I hope not. Isn't that a poison?
Well, in some doses. I can't... For some reason I feel like there's mercury. But anyway.
I don't
Iron?
know.
Yeah, it's something that shows up on... Because you got to remember, it's got to be metal for it to show up on a scan.
How quick does it go through your bloodstream?
Yeah.
They literally put it into the needle and then I could taste it in my mouth straight away. It was so bizarre.
So I've just noticed you've still got like all the bandages on and your hospital tag too.
I only just got home.
look at this.
Yeah.
She's
They took
literally...
the drip out and I was like, I've got to get home. I've got to record a podcast.
And we just used a spatula on the bed to scrape her off it and said, come on, Toots, that's enough. 24 hours in hospital.
Yeah.
You've had enough jelly and ice cream. Let's go.
I didn't even
So
get
how do
jelly
you,
and ice
how do you
cream.
actually feel right now though, Chezzi?
Fantastic.
Like,
Yeah.
really? Yeah.
She's had a night away from us and the kids.
No,
so
how sad is that?
Best night's sleep she's had in about 12 years.
I've been saying I'm so busy. I just want a holiday. I just want a holiday. And be careful what you wish for because I got a night without the kids and Grant and any duties. I didn't have to make dinner. I got a cold sandwich and
And look, for anyone who's been into an emergency department, look, it's never a great night.
It was
it's
not
often
relaxing.
Loud. There's usually someone in here that's either inebriated. I think I'm inebriated now. And, pissed, or high on drugs.
oh, I didn't realize because I don't think I've ever stayed in overnight.
It can get pretty shouty in there.
There's a padded room. I don't know if there's one in every hospital, but there's a padded
Probably
room.
these days there probably is.
And there's these really scary people who come in on all these different sorts of drugs and
They're called doctors.
no. Oh, there was one lady who was yelling out, like, help me. And it was just, I was trying to be calm, and there was a person next to me snoring and they kept.
Did they give you earbuds?
I had my own earbuds. I was trying to do meditation.
Yeah.
At that point.
I honestly would have just put on episode 4, season 9, Candid Chezzi, just to kind of chill myself out.
No,
It's a
thanks.
good listen, that one. It's a nice, relaxed.
What part did you
intimate
like
listen.
the most?
The bit when you said the words the and. I loved those bits. Yeah, they were my favourite bits.
Do you know the funniest thing was they couldn't work out what was wrong with my eye? Okay, and I'm saying it's just an infection, and more doctors are coming in, and they're like, you don't have a temperature with an infection this bad that's gone into your bloodstream and into your jaw, and all your lymph nodes are all swollen. We've never seen someone who doesn't have a temperature. How do you know?
Full blown,
my
full-blown
blood
infection,
showed full blown infection and
missing that critical vital of high temperature, which was freaking them out.
yeah. And so anyway, they were asking me all these different questions because they're trying to work out how I got this infection in my eye. So they said, how did you get the infection? I said, well, not thinking straight because my eyes all, fuzzy and blurry. I role play for part of my job and I had to wear a costume last week and I put on this very old gold makeup and they're like, yeah, okay, right. And they're thinking, like they're shaking their heads like, yeah, that's not it. And I was like, and I think maybe I had a reaction. They're like, no. Do you have a partner? Yes, I have a partner. Okay, don't take offense to this. Are you and your partner sexually active?
Wow.
She's so
yes.
glad I wasn't there for this bit.
Yes, I have a husband. Okay, right. Do you and your husband have sexual partners? I was like, what?
What? That's not each other?
Yeah. And I was like, no. I said, what are you actually asking here? He said, could it be chlamydia? And I said,
Whoa! Chlamydia of the eyeball.
I was like, chlamydia of my eye? What, like a koala? I said, how do you even get chlamydia in your eye? And he said, well, has your partner ejaculated in your eye? No, no word of a lie. And I have never laughed so hard until I realized how serious he was. And then I thought, oh, this is actually a really serious question. I was like, no.
Oh,
I said, no, he hasn't. And he's been away.
They thought you had jizz eye.
Is that what it is? I don't know. Is that even a thing?
Nasty case of jizz eye.
So then I started thinking, oh my God, maybe somebody's done that at Wicked and I've touched the seat and put it in my eye or something. Or maybe it got real bad from the... No, because I'm starting to think maybe this is a real thing. And I said to him, well, can we test if I've got this koala disease? And anyway,
Jizz eye.
Yeah, so they do swabs and stuff and they do tests and no, it wasn't that. It was staph.
You had spoof sight.
I'm still in shock. I can't believe that is an actual thing.
Yeah, I didn't
Because
know
they
that was
said,
a thing
do you
either.
have any problems when you go to the bathroom?
So
I'm
you-
like, with my eye.
So in the same way that someone can transfer an STD from themselves to their partner by intercourse, you're saying it can also happen just by, getting some serum in your eyeball.
I guess so. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm not an expert.
I've never heard of that.
It made me really giggly. He must have thought I was such a twit. I was like,
I don't know who should be more offended though. Like, should you be more offended that they suggested that, that one of us has been playing around and then we've kind of just
spread it to each other.
Yeah.
No, I was actually still
what does it say
hung up
about
on
you,
the fact.
and then what does it say about me?
I was still hung up on the fact that he asked, do I have a partner and am I sexually active? Like I'm like 17 or something.
Yeah, you're right. It is a bit of
That's what I was like.
Feel a bit naughty.
Yeah.
Are they asking the questions like really stone cold and not breaking that doctor character at all? Or is there a little glimmer of smiling?
Nah, stone cold. He was like, I'm sorry, don't get offended. I have to ask these.
Well,
and
did you go, well, I may get offended, but at least it's good material for our podcast.
I did say that. I said, I record a podcast and I'm going to say this on the podcast, but I don't think he really cared. He was just trying to get to the bottom of what was happening in my eye. So then he said, you have to do an eye test. How's your eyesight?
I just
Great.
don't know why someone goes to jizz face first. Why is that the first port of call? Have you touched a toilet seat and then accidentally rubbed your eye?
Because
Have you
I
been?
didn't have a temperature.
Were you motorboating a koala? You know what I mean? Like what? Like why aren't they their
Oh
first
my God,
options?
horse lips on a penis is now motorboating a koala.
Come here, little
Nishon.
fairy guy.
No, because they were confused because I didn't have a temperature. But I did say that I've had lots and lots of sinus infections over the years and I never get a temperature. And they've always said, this is a really bad infection.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, they've always said that, haven't they, for years.
You get really
I don't
bad infections.
So my only cue was I thought to myself, when I was in the kitchen when you were saying I was acting weird, I thought to myself, I'm feeling a bit tired. I could have a midday nap. And I was like, crap, I'm crook.
Yeah, she never does that.
No.
That's when I know things are bad.
So, yeah, so I had
Mama Bear's gone down, kids. She's gone down.
So I had a night in hospital and, lots and lots of IV antibiotics and my eye's coming back. I can use it. It's like,
It's black now, though. I can see the colour, in all your eyelid is all like, look, you've
Well,
been
it's
given a
pretty
shiner.
it was pretty swollen. So, anyway.
Wow. Do you know what's weird? I was away when she sort of got that jizz eye.
No, you weren't. You were home.
So I'm now asking questions about our relationship and our commitment to our relationship. You know what I mean? It's weird to come
Actually-
home to walk in knowing that your wife now has jizz eye and you've been away for 5 days.
I don't have have Jizz
I've been
eye.
away. In fact, 10 days, 7 days, 7 days I've been away. So, look, doctor says Jizz eye. You know what I mean?
No, they
But who am I to contradict someone who's had 7 years at university? You know what I mean? They're the one with the medical degree.
And didn't you see a koala like leaving the back door as you arrived?
Yeah, he was smoking on the way out. He's going, Jesus!
Smoking them gum leaves.
Do you know
That
what?
Chezzi D. Woohoo!
We have a friend who's not too far
here we go.
from here.
Yeah, here we go. What comes knocking when I'm away working?
We have a friend who had a koala come up to their
yeah.
back door,
We did too.
like on a neighbouring farm.
Actual real koala.
Yeah, and he patted it.
Yeah, that koala was so chill. I've never seen a koala do that.
I have to Google how many people get chlamydia in the eye. 'cause
Yeah, did your neighbour catch chlamydia?
That's weird.
Well-
Maybe he's come over. Maybe he got it from the koala. He's come over to you and he's like, Chezzi, do you need your fire stoked?
I don't have
know what I'm
chlamydia
saying?
of the eye, thank you. And I don't even have time
bloody
to
doctor
have
said
sex.
it, mate.
I don't even have time to fold up my washing.
We haven't even had time to make 3 children, but somehow we have.
Chlamydia of the eye.
In cats?
Oh, it's called chlamydial conjunctivitis. Is a unilateral disease but can involve both eyes. Patients complain of pink, red eye, mucus discharge, crusting of lashes, lids stuck together, swollen lids, tearing, photophobia, decreased vision.
Did you stay at a really cheap and nasty hotel? Like, is there a chance that when you were down at Wicked that you've got pink eye from a pillow?
No, because I already had it. And I was very unwell. I actually thought I had food poisoning when I was at the hotel, which now, as it turns out, was just a raging infection.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, because they were like, have you, with this infection, often people can be throwing up and diarrhea. I was like, oh, yeah, I did. I thought that was food poisoning. And they're like,
No, your system is so toxic that it was just...
yeah.
Oh,
And then
gosh.
they kept saying to me, most people with cellulitis often have, very heavy painkillers. I'm like, I don't have any pain. I didn't have any pain. It was just annoying.
I've got to say, now that we're back, George, you and I on the podcast, gee, this is a sexy episode.
It is.
Do you reckon?
This is a
Yeah.
really sexy episode.
I was looking forward to coming back into it because usually it's super sexy, but this is really sexy.
another
I've
level,
got a
isn't it?
question for you though, GD.
brother.
You said you were away while all of this was going down.
Yeah.
I saw bits and pieces on the social walls. You look like you were living the life, actually.
Yeah, I had a big couple of weeks actually. Did a little bit of filming for Thank God You're Here.
Oh, was that good?
Yeah, it's one of those shows. I'm very good on shows I don't give a shit about.
So you were nervous about this one?
This one I really care about because those working dog people, so the guys who and girls who make Thank God You're Here, they make the movie The Castle.
Have you been paying attention?
Have you been paying attention? Back in the day, my favourite show of all time was The Late Show. So The Late Show was when I was a kid. I decided I wanted to be in television, right? So that was the switch that flicked in me, and I was like, "This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do forever." It's because of these guys and girls and that show. So when I'm now appearing on one of their shows, they're my TV gods walking around, and I'm lucky enough to be there. So I revert into Little Grant, real nervous. Like first day of school.
What does Little Grant sound like? Give us a...
Hi, Rob Sitch. Hi, Jane Kennedy. Hi, Tom. Tom Gleisner. I love you.
Did you really...
I talk.
Yeah.
I realized I was talking
Like a
really
little kid.
fast, really high pitched,
Oh, even your
and-
little shoulders
and
just rolled over.
oversharing. And I was like, and as I'm talking to them, I'm like, dude, slow down. Be cool. Just be cool for Christ's sake.
What were you oversharing?
I was just telling them how much I love them and how much I love the shows and how much it means
Were
to
they
me.
trying to like peel you off their arms? Like,
Yeah.
or they were being polite at the start? And
No, they were real. They're actually very sweet listeners. And they...
Sweet listeners.
So I realised I was talking at them and not to them and not with them. But I met Jane Kennedy's boys. She's got 5 kids and the kids were there. And I was like, I don't think you know how cool your mum is. Your mum is the reason I'm in television. She's the funniest lady and makes the funniest TV shows. And I have to thank your mum for the career that I've had. And they're like, the kids are like going, oh, okay. And And I got a message from Jane Kennedy, like, because you know what, your kids don't think you're cool, right? Even though you might be really cool, and like you might be Jane Kennedy, you're just parents to your kids. So she was like, "Thanks so much for saying to my kids how cool I am. It means a lot because they don't see me as cool." So I was like, "Okay, cool, nice." But I think I was a real pest, if I'm honest. But I was really nervous and it was really fun. I did a real fun cameo. It's yet to be on air. It's in the coming weeks, so keep an eye out for it. But coming out, and people who go to the crowds, I make a lot of TV shows where audience turn up, which is awesome. But the kind of audience that turns up to a working dog show, and that's the name of the production company, if you don't know, they're all super fans. They're all comedy super fans, and they're super fans of the working dog type shows. So
like you.
They're in. They're 100% in.
300 U's in the audience.
God, that's a lot of talking.
They're just not. They're not people who just turn up looking for something to do on a Saturday night. They love and are dedicated to these shows. So when you come out, I came out, and oh my God, the response was hectic. It's the best response I've ever had to walking out on a TV show.
Really?
And it just blew my mind.
So what? Just everybody was just that.
They went nuts. Just nuts.
Well, that's so cool because you haven't really done anything with Working Dog before.
No, this is why it was such a big moment for me because I haven't done anything with Working Dog before. The greatest regret in television that I don't have too many, but one of them I was asked to fill in once as the host on Have You Been Paying Attention?
I remember that.
And I was racing that weekend and when they were filming it and I was like leading the championship. I was like, oh God, this is like a dream come true gig. And I've got sponsors and I got a teammate and I couldn't let them down. And it's an arrangement I already had existing. So I felt like I couldn't break that. But
That's
yeah,
so sad.
I said no to that once and I was like, oh God, I hope that hasn't closed the door, to working with, my idols.
Well, if anyone's listening to this podcast and you're on Instagram and you're on Working Dogs page, make sure you tag Grant.
Smash him and say more Denya.
We want to see
more Denya.
More Grant. We should start up a hashtag.
More GD.
More GD.
Oh man, it was really cool. I only played a little role, but it was really, a career highlight. So
hashtag bigger role for GD.
Bigger role for GD.
Yeah.
Good fun. But then I went on to Hamilton Island to shoot a pilot for a new TV show. So we're just sort of experimenting with a new concept to see whether it's got any legs. Hang on a second. Legs.
But I read a story that said that you had taken a holiday in Hamilton Island.
I did see that.
Yeah.
It was a bit of an abusive story, just quite frankly, saying that I'd left you and the kids behind to go and have a holiday by myself on Hamilton Island.
Yeah, to face the facts of your opioid addiction, I think is what one of the headlines was.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's because I'd been on a Jessica Rowe podcast talking about, those old times. We've said it many times in many episodes here on this podcast.
But I just loved the headline and how they wrote about it like it was all, like you've finally come clean.
Yeah, like I've only just stopped having pain meds last week and I have to go to Hamilton Island on my own to deal with it.
It was so bizarre. And
I'm clearly in all my Instagram videos, I'm clearly working. There's cameras and camera crew and sound guys in shot on Instagram, so I'm clearly working.
That's what somebody sent it to me actually and said, when do you get to sue the Daily Mail for stories like this?
Yeah. Oh, well.
Oops,
is there a journalist's name attached to this? Not that we have to say it. But is there a name
I think it was Mary McFuckface. I think her name was.
That one. She does a few of those ones.
She got to watch out for her journalism. Very low bar.
I don't ever read the Daily Mail. It's so... Anyway, we don't need to go into that again. But
I think they're our sponsor next episode.
Yay!
I was working for anyone wondering. Not withdrawing from pain meds.
You looked pretty happy for someone withdrawing from pain meds.
Yeah. Nah, that's what I was doing. Was I doing anything else? I can't remember. I had a few things on that week.
Yeah, you did. You did the Imperfects podcast and you did Jess Rowe podcast. Yeah.
Did you do the Imperfects podcast?
Yeah.
Oh,
do you listen to that?
I love that show so much. I can't wait to hear it.
It's a big, big chat.
Yeah, right.
I walked out there going, I can't remember what I said because it was just those guys create such an incredibly warm and encouraging and safe space to kind of reveal, your deepest and darkest and most vulnerable. And it was a beautiful environment to kind of go through some heavy things and talk about some recent, revelations that I've discovered, about myself. And it was, it's a hell of a chat. So keep an eye out for it. It's coming up. It's probably one of the next couple.
I think it's out on Monday.
Oh,
Actually,
God,
I know it's out on Monday.
All right. So that means, by the time this goes to air, it's just about to come out. So, have a quick squiz because it might already be out if you're just listening now, depending on when you're listening. It was very, very special. It's one of those chats where I walked away for the next. In fact, I've been doing it since I recorded it, going, God, have I stuffed it up? Have I done a good job? Have I done a bad job? Or did I overshare? Was I a bit needy, whingy, or whiny? But I've received the most beautiful messages. In fact, I don't have my phone here.
We'll go and get it.
But yeah, look, all right. It's a nice tease. You guys chat amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
And George, what's your excuse for not being
My
around?
excuse for not being here, just work has been super busy. At the time of this podcast going out, so I'm assuming it's a Friday for this one.
Mm-hmm.
The following day, I'm doing something really special in the town that I'm working in at the moment.
So tomorrow, you're doing...
something really cool is happening.
Well, you can't say what it is?
I can't say anything because it's actually a huge tease, a massive surprise. But it's going to be cool. You can check it out on my socials.
All right.
If you want to follow that journey.
So, okay. Oh, well, that's a bit hard. You've given us a really great tease, and
that's what I'm all about. The hook. And GD is back in the room with his phone.
Yeah.
Right. So I got these messages from the boys after recording. This is from Hugh.
So who? Who? Just for if you don't listen to the Imperfects, what is it and who does it?
It's one of Australia's most successful podcasts, and it basically just celebrates and discusses the realities of successful people, and not just always successful people, but. It talks about, and it's normalizing our failures, you know what I mean? Rather than kind of living our perfect life through a manicured, Instagram lens. It's about sort of everyone coming on and divulging your failures as much as your successes, because that's obviously where the gold is, right? That's where all the important learnings are. And it goes extremely well. So I walk out pretty vulnerable after that chat, going, God, what have I done? It's pretty much what I thought. What have I done?
But is it new stuff or is it just...
Some of it is things that we've spoken about. Some of it goes just a little bit deeper into that. Some of it is sort of my newer learnings about, things that I've done in the past and mistakes that I've made, and, little gems as well that have, got us back on our feet. So yeah, there's some new stuff in there. But people who listen to this podcast, a lot of the material is familiar. We discussed a lot of this.
It's not material, it's your story.
No, it is my story. And we've spent a lot of the early days of this podcast kind of going through, a lot of that stuff, those early series 1 and series 2.
Did you plug our podcast when you were...
Damn it, I knew I forgot something.
Oh my God, no wonder you
I did refer to you as Jizz Face, though. I hope that's okay in the
That cannot be my new name. That's a terrible...
No, but have a listen to this. So walking out feeling pretty vulnerable, and I get this message in... This is from Hugh. Hello, mate. Just checking in to see how you're feeling a few days after the interview.
That's nice.
We are still on such a high from meeting you and having such a wonderful conversation with you. You really are the most incredible person.
Aww.
Isn't that a beautiful
that's
message?
so lovely.
And I was like, Jesus, I needed that. Thank you. Because I was really
Feeling
questioning
vulnerable.
whether I'd gone too far or if I just, sometimes you go, the world doesn't need to know, my failings, and you kind of going, I went on there with best intentions to be funny, and that is the last thing I did.
But they don't want you to be funny because funny, they want you to be real.
That's my default. I feel like I've never done a good job unless I am funny, but I went in there and I made a promise to myself, wherever it goes, just go with it. And so I thought I'll come out, I'll do it typical GD style. I'll come out of the gates, bang, 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 knock out a few gags, get everyone laughing and just have a good time. And it was just, man, it just went straight into it. I was like, oh, wow.
Because isn't one of the segments like the vulnerability room or something like that? Is that how they kick it off?
I think they call it that. I don't know if that ep is particularly, I don't know if that's a side theme, but yeah. And then I got another one the other day. Mate, I'm still buzzing from our chat. Your episode is going to change so many lives. In fact, I don't think it's a stretch to say it will save so many lives. You are an incredible person, and I'm so grateful to have met you.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that sweet?
Who is Hugh?
He is clearly the loveliest man in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do they all?
And Hamish Blake's best mate. So they're. And he runs the Resilience Project. Is that what it's called?
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, Ryan Shelton.
Yeah,
the host on that show.
Yep. Ryan Shelton, another comedic genius. And so there's Hugh and his brother and Ryan, and it's cool. It's cool.
Wow.
Have a listen.
Yeah, definitely. I'm keen to have a listen.
Because all their reps, they get on great guests, and they got doctors, and they got in specific fields, and it's all about just kind of getting to the nitty-gritty of making ourselves better versions of ourselves. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
They do a great job.
It's really cut through. We were going to talk to Jessica Rowe about the podcast that you did with her and have a good chat, but I got an eye infection, so we didn't get to chat to her, but we will. We're going to...
It was a fun chat too.
She's
another great thing about podcasting. Like you can literally just listen in to two people's very in-depth conversation that usually traditionally would have been done, in a small room in the privacy of them, but now it's just out there, and probably in some cases a little bit better for some people than a psychology session or a counselor.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't get that on commercial television or commercial radio. You don't get that from celebrities and magazines. You don't get that normally really from their Instagram either. So it's nice that there is this platform that kind of celebrates normality and the things that make life shit and good.
But there's a big push now for real authenticity, don't you reckon? Like anyone who's really fake, I just think people don't want to hear from them anymore. No,
and look, and I've got to be honest, I'm part of the problem. I was the fake guy. For many of my career, it's been about pretending to be a certain version of myself to make myself more employable or to make my shows more successful. So it's only in the later years of my life I've been able to do it. And even now today, whilst it's still new for me to discuss things, painful things and embarrassing and humiliating things, to discuss them openly and freely with you guys here, I still feel that there is a risk in doing so, that it might potentially make me more unemployable. Because as you reveal your vulnerabilities and your mistakes and the things that don't make you very good, I go, well, I still got to work, right? So if I do this amazing podcast with the Imperfects or with Jessica Rowe, what if one of my employers, one of my bosses, one of the people who hire me listens to that and go, God, he's a flawed human being. Well, I don't want that around. What if he can't deliver the goods for us? And therefore, you lose employment out of it. So you sort of still feel like there is a risk to doing what we're doing and trying to be honest and open and helpful, because we are all flawed creatures. We are all human beings just trying to make the most of, the hand that we've been dealt.
Well, I'm slightly concerned now about my employment prospects, considering you've called me Jizz eye and chlamydia eye.
The doctor called you that, not me. The doctor called you spoof face, Jizz eye.
And for the two of you, there will always be work on this very podcast that you two create, own, and run.
When you say work, though, when do we receive $1 as such as payment for this podcast? When is it work? If it's free?
That's an interesting one to delve into.
Well, most of my life is free work.
That's a good point.
I read a thing just last night, actually. I had a lot of time to read in hospital because I never normally sit down and read. And it said, if you equate the number of hours for a stay-at-home mum or a mum who works part-time the number of hours that you work in the home doing the washing, cooking, groceries, looking after kids, bathing, on average, you would earn between $180,000 a year to $200,000 a year.
Wow.
If you were paid a salary.
For all those services.
Yep.
Jeez.
Unbelievable. Let's just make it happen somehow.
I've never heard anyone put a number to that. But
I know.
You're right. You could actually, you're right. If
And
you
that
were
was actually
paying
an
for those
overseas
services.
person that said that. So it would be in overseas dollars. But this particular person said that she stays at home and looks after the kids in the house so her husband can fulfill his career because he gets paid more. And she said that
Now that there's a dollar figure on it.
you
her
have to
duties.
recognise that she earns basically just as much as he does. So there you go. So that's a labour of love.
That's a good fact.
Yeah. There you go.
Factoid.
Factoid. I'll give you another factoid. So I have been trying to work out what the universe is telling me about my bung eye.
Okay.
Can I say bung?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I said another word the other day and you said that's highly inflammatory now, and
I can't remember what that was.
well, I'm not going to say it, but it was a word that I've used for a long time, and apparently now it's like politically incorrect. So I'm not going to use that word.
Starts with an S. Yes.
So
I
can I just
remember.
say bung because I'm
Yeah, bung.
Okay.
Bung's fine.
not bung.
Bung. Bung.
Dodgy. So the Golden Louise L. Hay collection. Have you?
She writes a good book, old Louise Hay. One of the early kind of self-helpers.
Yeah. Do you know Louise L. Hay, George?
He wouldn't.
You look
I
perplexed.
don't know Louise Hay. I know Louise Hello, though.
Yeah.
Who's Louise Hello?
Nah, it's a stitch up. It's a joke.
Oh, what about the Aussie self-helper,
got that.
Louise G'day?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's more our style.
Or the Spanish lady, Louise Hola. Louise Hola. She's good. Really insightful.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not where I
Yeah.
was going
What about the
with this.
German one, Louise Nine?
Now that is an interesting read.
Louise Nine. She's straight to the point. She doesn't fluff around. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of jokes in Louise Nine's book.
Yeah, it's one page actually.
It just says,
I
fix
hate it.
yourself. Do it. Get to the chopper and fix yourself. I'm Louise Nine. Nine.
Arnold made a cameo in it.
Oh my god. Okay,
I think
stop.
nine means no, doesn't it, in German?
Right.
I was driving
Hope so.
my daughter.
Shizen up.
I was driving my daughter to school today. She's learning Portuguese and German. I don't know why. And
Because her cousin.
no came up, and I said it's nine. So that's why I
Right.
Louise Nine.
Do you know Louise Hay? She started all her Hay House books and this huge big. No, I'm not listening to you guys anymore.
Hay House books.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she developed a company called Hay House, right, where you can heal your own body. She started all of this at the age of 60, and it's huge. I can't believe you haven't heard of
It's
it.
actually very big. So a lot of the others, the Gabby Bernsteins and all, have sort of all grown now off the back of the early work that she has done.
Yeah. So I tried to, and I did reach out to. There's a teacher practitioner of heal yourself, heal your body in Australia, but I haven't heard back from him. But I am interested to know because it does make sense.
Her theory is basically there are literal meanings to the injuries that you have, like
And ailments. And
so if you have if you have an ailment. To give an example,
I'm looking at it
Don't
here.
give yours away yet, but give a
Constipation.
Okay, so what is the literal meaning for this?
Refusing to release old ideas, stuck in the past, sometimes stinginess.
So if you're constipated, you're actually literally unable to let things go. You're hanging on to either negativity or trauma, or you're holding in your words, so therefore you're not letting your anger out or your frustration out. So and there's a lot of science now that actually backs up these literal meanings to your ailments.
So for constipation, she then has a affirmation that you say, as I release the past, the new and fresh and vital enter, I allow life to flow through me. and you say that and you say that and you try to heal yourself.
Which is about
I'm going
bringing.
to stick that on the back of my toilet door.
Okay.
It's about bringing attention to that area, that ailment, and then focusing on it, and then going, no, it's okay, mate. Relax, just let it all go.
So give me another injury ailment. Like just think of something, not something.
broken nose? Is that one?
Okay, so let's go nose.
I probably could have found one on the page. There's a lot, but
Yeah. Do you need to go to the
nose.
Oh,
Here we go. Oh no, nose represents self-recognition, but it doesn't say broken. But
Okay, so what
That's
about
okay.
nose bleeds here?
nose bleeds, a need for recognition, feeling unrecognized and unnoticed, crying for love.
It's
Quite
interesting.
sad. Well, why is that so interesting?
So people who
Think of something that you've had, like
Okay, let's go lower back, like bad back. That's a very common one.
Very common, yeah.
very common for you, Grant.
Well, when you break your back, yeah. But everyone
Doesn't get much more common than that.
a lot of people go
Here we
through
go.
back,
Back
issues.
problems. All right. Lower back. Did you say lower back?
Yeah, I did.
So back's broken into 3 different sections. Lower back is fear of money, lack of financial support.
Right. Well, we could all relate to that. Yep. Middle.
No, but that
Not,
wasn't
that's
you.
Not, that's not a direct outcome, but yeah.
No, but so yeah, for your lower back, if you've got a sore lower back, fear of money, lack of financial support.
What about middle back?
Guilt, stuck in all that stuff back there, as in get off my back.
Oh, okay. Upper.
Upper, lack of emotional support, feeling unloved, holding back love.
But there's things like eyes, right? If you've got something wrong with your eye, for instance, what does
Me?
eye say?
That's what I was looking up before.
But you can't see because your eyes sore.
But my eye is good. Oh, look, buttocks represents power. I always have really tight buttocks. So I don't know what that means.
Well, that's the muscle that does all the lifting when you're power lifting.
Here we go. Eye problems. Sty. Oh, see sty. Oh, no. Eye represents the capacity to see clearly, past, present, and future.
So what it's saying is, what aren't you seeing? It's bringing attention to the fact that you're not seeing something, you're missing something.
That's right. And so that's why I've been trying to heal it. But I didn't know that there was another one in sty. So not liking what you see in your own life.
Ooh, that's good. That's
Gee.
good. Yeah. So you're blind to something that you're not liking and you're ignoring it. You're blind to something. Or yeah.
So what am I not liking?
Probably me. For calling you Jizz face. Was that it?
No, I don't know. I really
Is there an affirmation there for the eye?
Good.
Yes, there is. Oh, here we go.
the
Sty. Sorry, I've
Okay.
just
Let's get to sty.
Sty. Looking at life through angry eyes, angry at someone.
Yes! Finally! Finally, someone's been brave enough to say it. She's angry.
So I choose to see everyone and everything with joy and love. Oh, but I don't
That's a
feel
nice affirmation.
angry.
And that the release was, well, yeah, no, you're not an angry person. You've been a little frustrated lately, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I've been a bit overworked.
Yeah. Well, what are you angry at?
Well, clearly you, because it's my right eye. So it's
Why is right eye important?
right is male, left is female. So
Is that applied to most of the body? Like as in left
I
side's body, right,
think,
right?
I don't know. I don't even know how I know that.
So you're angry at me. What are you angry at me about?
I don't know, maybe going away and having, a great holiday after you're coming off your opioids.
I was recovering from pain medication.
No, I don't know. I'm not angry. I don't know. I think I
no
just
need to
was,
yell, mate.
I was,
Yeah.
Did you
Calm
hear
down.
the tone? Just then shift to George.
not angry. No,
I can
maybe
feel it
I'm
through this Zoom.
German.
Yeah, you've become very German all of a sudden.
It's very interesting. Give me one of yours, George. I've got piles
Like
here.
an ailment.
Yeah. Okay. What about George?
Post-nasal drip. That's Ben Grant.
Post-nasal
Inner
drip.
crying, childish tears.
How about
postnasal.
how
nasal
about
drip?
gingivitis.
Oh, gums. Okay.
Is that in there?
Gingivitis.
Like gums?
Yeah, it would be. She's got everything.
Mate,
She's
it's
so.
everything.
That's
Ellen,
why
hey.
it
It's like a
takes
go-to just sort of list of you go, I got a sore left knee. What does that mean? And she has an associated meaning to every ailment. And you know what? We've had a couple of these things where it's actually been correct, where we've gone and done a little bit of therapy and it ends up being that area, and then you clear it and you're good to go.
Are you gingivitis-ing? Is that you?
Yeah.
Inability to back up decisions, wishy-washy about life.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm a wishy-washy kind of guy at times.
Are you struggling with big decisions, mate? Do you sort of flip back and forth, or should I, shouldn't I? Do you sit in that?
Yeah, I'm a very indecisive person.
Okay. Do you want to? It's funny you should say this. Do you want to know what are these called?
Affirmation?
The
Do
affirmation,
you know what, here's the affirmation. You go, Shez.
please. Do you want me to repeat it after you?
Yes, please.
I am a decisive person.
I am a decisive person.
I don't know if that sounded like you were really into it, but anyway, I follow through and support myself with love.
I follow through and support myself with love.
You're healed now, brother. You got a
No,
whole new world.
Oh, my God.
You might have to work on that a bit. But do you, you have to...
No, I feel decisive now. I feel good.
Yeah. You can make any decision in the world, man. Just go with it. Trust your gut.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. All right, let's do one more. Give me another problem.
This is fun. We should have people ringing in with their ailments so we could just cure them on the spot like we're Jesus.
I'll pretend like I'm someone and you cure them, okay? Ready?
Okay.
So,
Hello. Go ahead, caller.
no, I was going to do the phone. Ring, ring. Yeah. Hello? Hi, Ray Hadley?
Yes, good day.
Is this 2GB?
30, 30, 32. Yep. The footage coming up next. But right now I've got Margaret calling in from, where are you, Margaret?
Barawa.
Barawa. Terrific. I bought a dog from Barawa once called Bernie. Got hit by a car. Shit story. Broke me bloody heart. So what's your troubles, Margaret?
I was just ringing up to ask about corns.
Do
Corns
you mean the corn you eat?
No.
Oh, the corn?
No, corns and calluses are my problem.
Corns. Okay, let me just consult the Louise Hay book here. How do you bloody
Oh,
read
there's
this
dust
thing?
in here. It's bloody insufferable.
I don't know if corns is going to come up here. Cysts. Corns. Here it is. Corns.
Character. You're in character.
Oh, corns. Okay, Margaret, let me help you out here, Dale. Hardened areas of thought stubbornly holding on to the pain of the past. Can you believe that? Is that a bit of truth for you there, Dale?
So how do I cure it, Ray?
Let me just read that for you again, just in case you
yep.
missed it there, Margaret.
Well, I am quite hard at Graham.
Just shut up for a second, I'm
Okay.
talking. Hardened areas of thought stubbornly holding on to the pain of the past. So is that ringing any bells for you there, Margaret?
I am quite angry at Graham. He went to the chemist the other day and didn't pick up my script. He only picked up his own.
Okay, what these moments with your husband are doing is they're physically turning into hard bits on your actual body. They're hard in real life for you personally, but they're becoming real hard actually on your body.
Okay, so do I need a pet egg to remove them?
The pet egg is possibly the most disgusting thing ever invented if you've ever seen the commercials.
Ring, 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 ring.
Oh, hang on. There's an affirmation before I answer this phone call. So, Margaret, what I need you to do is listen to this, okay? Uncle Ray's got you here. So Ray says, here we go, and repeat this with me. I move forward,
I move forward,
free from the past.
free from the past.
I am safe,
I am safe
and I am free.
and I am free.
And go the Bunnies this weekend
Nope.
at Lang Park.
Graham, fuck.
Ring, ring.
Oh, here's another. Am I still Ray? Am I still Ray Hadley?
Yes, you are.
Okay. There's another caller. Hello, who's calling?
Hey, it's Caleb from Wangaratta.
G'day, Caleb. How you going?
Is this Grant Denyer doing a Ray Hadley impression?
No, this is Ray. What are you talking about? Are you on crack?
Well, in Wangaratta, yes.
It's a big problem these days. The old Twin City, they're struggling with the old icy ice. They love it down there. They're on the old what do they call it? The glass barbecue. They love it. They love the glass barbecue down there in the wank. So I forgot your name again. What's your name again, chump?
Caleb.
Caleb, what's your physical ailment? Welcome to the radio. What's your physical ailment? How can I help you?
Just the common cold, sore throat, runny nose.
Oh, well, there's bloody 3 things he's just given me. Cold.
I'm a needy Caleb.
Cold. Alphabetical order.
No, where are you going?
Ray, you there?
Coughs, croup, cramps,
Ray.
crying, colic, colon, colds. Here we go. Okay, you're right there, Caleb. Sit back, my friend,
back.
because Dr. Ray has got you sorted, okay? So here we go. This is what the common cold means to you and your body. Here we go. Too much going on at once. Mental confusion or disorder. You got small hurts. This is in quotation marks, I get 3 colds every winter type of belief. So you're believing that that you get colds easily and that it's indefinite, that it's definitely coming and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay.
Thank you, Ray.
So I want you to work through this one with me to release it, okay? So lean in. Here we go. I want you to follow this. I allow my mind to relax and be at peace.
I allow my mind to relax and be at peace.
Clarity and harmony are within me.
Clarity and harmony are within me.
And around me.
And around me.
All is well.
All is well.
You'll no longer get a cold there, brother.
Oh,
Ray.
Ray, thank you so much. You've changed my life.
God, you thought you just came here for the cattle prices and the forecasts for little small towns that no one cares about, but I'm here to say Ray Hadley, #1 for 150 surveys in a row, and that is a fact.
Really?
This is why you're my favourite.
That's
Battle
true.
me.
Actually, there's 150 surveys in a row. It's been #1.
Let's get Ray Hadley on the bloody...
That's pretty incredible.
bloody...
That's since like 2003 or something.
Wow.
He started off as a taxi driver, I'm pretty sure,
Really? I love stories
before he got
like
into
that.
radio.
Yeah, I love stories like that.
It's like those classic kind of mailroom to CEO stories, you know, where someone grew up in the company delivering sort of the mail around the office and then they end up sort of
Who is
going
that
through the ranks.
person?
That happens every now and then. You sort of hear those stories.
Yeah, I do like that. That was really
Yeah,
fun.
who's it's head of Sony? He did that. Handlin?
Well, he's not the head of Sony
He
anymore,
was,
is
but
he?
for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay, probably not a great example.
So,
Harvey Weinstein.
oh, God. No, I know how he worked
He
his way
started
up.
touching people in the mailroom and then he worked his
Oh, my God. Is he in jail?
I think so. I don't know.
You know what I love about all those
I think-
people
I
when
think-
they get caught, they all of a sudden develop ailments, which actually, when you, now that I think about
the
it,
old go to court in the wheelchair
like what?
on oxygen. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the classic move.
But you know what?
Holding a Helen Hay book.
It's Louise,
Louise
Hay.
Hay.
And you know
Oh,
what?
Louise Hay, sorry.
It probably
Or,
is.
unless you're from
if
Spain,
we look
Louise
up,
Ola.
do you know what? If we looked up like guilt, like serious guilt,
Yeah.
I reckon would eat you alive. So could be.
Isn't that middle back?
Yeah, you're right. It was. I don't know if guilt will come up because that's not an ailment. That's That's kind of an emotion.
I'm just looking
You
at
don't
all these
develop
other.
guilt on your shoulder.
Okay, so like, what's rickets? I don't even know what rickets is, and rabies. We don't have rabies in Australia, but anyway, thank you, Louise
It's
Hay.
really cute over there for
Don't say it again. I know exactly where you're going with that. This
Look,
has been
at
really
the end of the
great.
day, the only lesson we should take away from this is
that you can't go away again because it's very stressful. It is doing the podcast on my own and having to panel, organize. Like you have no idea how complex it was with Maggie, and luckily Maggie is
a pro.
superb.
Yeah.
Because I had things going, my phone was ringing, and I was all over the place.
I won't lie, I was a little worried while I was away. It's been a while since I've been away. I used to go away all the time.
Why were you
But
worried?
it's been a while because I was getting vibes like there was an impending breakdown coming. The kids were calling me that you weren't aware of, saying that mum's yelling at me.
I was.
And I came back and you literally said, I think I nearly had a breakdown.
Yeah. Well,
And it's
several
okay to
times.
have a breakdown every now and then. You just need to clear yourself out, right?
That's exactly right. No, because I had about 3 months worth of work all be jam-packed into the time you were away. So, and I did a lot.
Yeah.
How did you go last night without me?
While you're in hospital.
Yeah, do you miss me when I'm not here? Do you
hell yeah.
recognise how much I do?
Yeah, getting the kids to school is, as we all know, hell. And
I do that every day.
I know you do, but I had to get them ready earlier today because they had chiropractic appointment for all of them.
Yeah, and I did that several times while you're away.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. And to be honest, I prefer it when you're around, so I can be the fun person and you can be the Nazi. And now I had to be all of those, and I realised all of a sudden I'm no longer the fun parent. I have to actually run this house with some kind of order.
Well, I have to say, when you're away, I really did miss you. Oh. I might make a joke about it, but I really did miss you, and I do value having you around.
This is interesting.
And I even said that on the podcast.
This is beautiful.
I missed having you, like, doing your sound effects. I know I always pick on you.
You've never
and tell
said
you.
that to me ever.
Really?
Never.
Oh, this is a moment.
Are you releasing the anger?
Oh my God, my eye fixed.
Your eyes fixed.
I can
Look at
see.
it. It's crystal clear.
Quick, hit some kind of. Oh, we don't have the right sound effects.
We don't have.
Like an applause, maybe?
Oh, and you've changed.
Healed. She's healed, everybody.
You've changed the clap, and it's like real not right now.
Yeah, I accidentally, as I was putting the new opener onto the book. Wow.
I know, it keeps going.
There's a lot in this one. Yeah, you're going to have to fade this one down now.
No, I worked that out last week.
I accidentally deleted the clap sound as I put the new opener on, and I had to find
Oh, the most important one.
Yeah.
And so
So it's a real slow burn. It's like,
still going. Oh my God. So yeah, you got to fade that one down.
no, but I'm on. No, I did really miss you, and I.
Because do you know one thing that you have always done?
Hang on, my eyes getting twitchy.
Ever
This
admit
would be interesting.
that you when you struggle, you'll never let anybody know.
Because sometimes I don't even think that I recognise when I am struggling.
Well, that's definitely the truth.
Yeah, I think that's just
You don't
eyes
allow
forward.
yourself to admit that maybe this bit's shit or hard.
Is that because I'm not a whinger?
I don't
I just
know.
do it. I don't know
I
what.
don't know why that is. I don't know what the coping mechanism to that is, or
I just get up and do it. You tell me how many people would be discharged out of hospital with a serious eye infection and would be sitting here doing a podcast with
mate,
still there.
I've seen you
up
have
and
things
on.
happen to you where you shouldn't be standing, yet you are. Like, you are incredibly strong. I'm not joking when I'm saying you're an absolute powerhouse.
I don't know. I don't want to harp on. I don't know. I don't feel sorry for myself.
What part did you miss about me not being here?
Oh, most of all, I missed talking to you and having, my best friend.
That's what this
around.
podcast is for. This is
Yeah,
the
I
only
know.
time we were actually having genuine conversations.
No, I
doing
missed
this
that.
podcast.
Twice a week, we jump on this podcast and talk.
And I also missed, having you around and having you help out just, with the kids when, they're not listening, and I can say, Grant, can you help? Can you take the baby, please? Because she's going outside and throwing eggs on the car. I missed the support.
Yeah. It's tough on your own, isn't it? Yeah.
You're reminiscing about your one
Grant-
night.
No, I was actually thinking about my
You
poor
poor
mum.
thing.
My poor mum who raised 2 kids on her own.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible effort, really.
It is. Hats off to single parents. I mean, I spent most of Sailor and Scout when they were young. You were away
That's true,
all
you
the
were.
time,
Yeah.
and it wasn't really a big deal. But I think after getting used to having you here all the time, I did really miss you. You left a big hole. It's probably why I got really, frustrated. I was very.
You're angry
I
that I,
feel
was
like we
away.
should hold hands right now and sing Kumbaya. This is like a real healing end to the episode where we all come back together.
It actually is, and I've just looked at the time, and I know that you have to go back to work, George. So
It's okay. I just missed out on that meeting, but that's all good. I'm dedicated to this podcast.
Oh my
For real?
It wasn't
God.
important. It wasn't important. It's okay.
Oh my God.
It's fine.
I'm so sorry. I hope it wasn't like an audition for your actor radio awards or.
No.
No.
It was nothing like that. It was just a regular meeting that could really just be an email. Let's be real.
Okay, all right. Well, let's not say that out loud in case
you
that
should
they
I'll
listen to
forward
that.
that
This was
feed-
totally not
feedback on.
recorded on a Thursday at about 1:30.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Right.
Good sesh, everyone.
Yeah, very good.
Sesh. Well, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're out of hospital.
I'm great. I'm great. I'm fine. You know
I-
who I am? I'm Joy. I am Joy off Inside Out. That's what I realised. Like, you know how she's like,
But Joy realizes that
that's right, she can't do it alone.
No, she realizes you can't just fake joy, that there are other times in life when it's okay to feel sad
Correct.
or angry.
Yep.
All the other emotions are valid.
That's right. But that's what I'm saying. I'm
But
Joy. You know
do
how
live
she's
in
like,
hyper positivity.
I'm like, no, don't be sad. Why are you sad? What are you sad about? Yeah.
Because it's okay to be sad, mate.
Yeah. Well, but everybody has different sad tolerances.
Yeah, but you go from I'm great, I'm positive, I'm better to boom to a collapse. Like these, you don't sort of, not very often.
Right.
Okay, I've just probably touched on something pretty heavy here right at the end as we're wrapping up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
You
see
are
it.
not alone, for I am here with you.
Yes.
Though you're far away.
Hold on, who sings this song?
Michael Jackson.
Oh, it's his birthday today. It's his birthday today.
Shimon.
He's 60. It's his 65th, would have been, birthday
check
today.
the corner.
Did you know that?
No.
Do you know, last night was the first time I've read the news in all year.
Oh, because you're in hospital,
Yeah.
without 8 children climbing all over you.
I was that bored. I wrote speeches. We've got a wedding this weekend. I wrote a speech for that. I wrote a speech for something I'm doing next week. I wrote a chapter of a book I haven't even
Jesus.
decided on.
You should get Jizz face more often. You are so organised now.
And they kept saying to
His
me,
face, productive face.
do you
Yeah,
want to
it really
rest
is.
your eye? I was like, because I just held it closed. And I was
Didn't get like a little eye patch or
oh,
anything?
do you know, they laughed at me when I said an eye patch would actually be quite helpful because when you hold it closed, it doesn't feel sore.
Yeah, well, that's what eye patches are for.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought they were just for pirates.
Aw.
What? How many people have you seen wearing an eye patch?
Oh, plenty of people. Yeah, walking down the streets wearing eye patches
They-
because, you know,
recent
they're-
surgery.
No,
or
oh, they've
copped a
got-
little bit of a metal filing.
That's
in
not
their
an eye
or
patch,
something.
that's a-
My dad used to wear an eye patch as well.
He did.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yep. When he got MS and, needed to wear the eye patch for a few weeks.
Yeah, right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It reduces
Oh,
the strain on a troubled.
Well, I know,
iris.
like, I've seen people with bandaged eyes. That's different to like a leather eye patch, isn't it?
Next time, you know what? I'd take the advice of the professional in a hospital if I was you. Again, 7 years of study, so
And what was that advice?
they might not wear the bloody eye patch.
No,
Rest your eye.
They didn't give me an eye patch. I asked for an eye patch and they were like, no, just go to sleep.
Oh.
And I was like, well, it's a bit hard because I've gone, help, help.
Screaming.
And
next
then
door.
people going, Mum, Mum. And if you're a mum and you hear somebody yell out, Mum, you automatically go to respond.
Your mum senses just.
Yeah, I was
kick
like,
in.
yes, they're not my kids.
You and I alone. Yeah.
Okay.
Good track.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thank you.
Next time,
Lots of love.
You've got a bung knee. Don't forget to ring into Ray Hadley. He'll help you out.
That'll be me next week.
Imagine people do going, Ray, remember when you did that? Actually ring him. Actually ring up for you. Remember when you did that segment about healing your ailments? I got an ailment. And he'll be like, what the hell are you talking about?
We got to get Ray Hadley on our podcast and play him your woeful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember once I stole his cardboard cutout from his office
right.
and replaced it with my own cardboard cutout.
That's right.
Because it was one of the Just Cuts cardboard cutouts that I had in the Just Cut stores.
Yes.
And he flipped. And he came marching through the Nova Studios looking for me, and he wanted to pound my body, which was, I got set up by, I think it might have been Merrick Watts to do it. They dared me to do it, and I did it. And, mate, he came in and his face was like purple with rage.
Wow.
And I was so scared.
He was just joking though, wasn't he?
I think he was just joking.
Yeah, he
But it's hard
likes
to
a good
tell.
joke.
He's a feisty character.
That's why he's so good in that role.
150 surveys at number 1 Australia.
All right.
It's got a
We're
bit of
out.
Alan Jones about it too, to be honest.
Is that right? Alan Jones. You'd like that, wouldn't you? What do you think of our Prime Minister?
What about Ray Warren coming down the outside? Ryan Pappenhausen.
Ray Warren now pumps it to the outside now. George Sargent. Oh, he's up down the far side of the field.
God, you two have a very long career in taking people off. Who else can you do?
I can do Scooby Doo. Scooby Doo.
Hey!
That's
There
very
is
good.
Australia. And with that, we bow out. Australia's 56th most popular podcast in the comedy / entertainment / self-help genre.
No, we've
This
bumped
has
up.
been
Leave
It's
us-
All True.
Leave us some more reviews because every time you leave a review, we get bumped up the list, which is good, I guess. Yeah. I don't know where we get bumped up to, but yeah.
You'll have a good bump.
Yeah.
Actually, our numbers lately have been pretty big.
Well,
So,
they have been actually. Tell everyone.
yeah, look,
It's because of me.
just
because of
actually,
me.
you know what? The biggest numbers our episode has ever seen, both George and I weren't here. So,
I'm never there.
That is so
ouch,
true.
my
Yeah.
little heart is broken.
Wow.
Tell your friends.
Maybe we just label each episode as it's just Chezzi,
Yes!
and halfway through we surprise them and go,
Surprise!
"We're here."
Ah, joking, got you. Yeah, hello.
We're fun.
Yeah, these crazy guys here on this podcast. Oh, yeah. Talking about funny things that happen to your eye.
Helen, hello.
Hello.
Oh, Helen, not Helen. What's her name? I don't know.
Louise.
Louise, hello. we're
Louise,
here.
hello. I love your book. You're so crazy. You fix us.
Oh my God, I feel like we're being naughty.
Kermie. I love you, Miss Piggy.
Oh my
Like
God.
scoops. Yoinks.
Bye.
Bye.
It's All True, the podcast with Grant and Chezzi Denya.
Bye bye. See you next time.